There we go. Welcome to Radio Nation. I'm your host, Nicholas Pescod. Sorry for the already beginning technical delay. Here on Radio Nation, we have a great show lined up for you. We have two wonderful guests here in studio. One is our featured artist, Khaouli. Make sure I got that right.
Yep,
and Braden Murphy, you're here as well. Braden Murphy McFarlen. Yep, you're here as well. One of our technical producers. It's the title you're now getting on the show. And we were off last week, so I thank everybody who's tuning in tonight to listen on this beautiful, beautiful Tuesday afternoon. I don't know about you, but I wish we could be outside right now on our outside in the live studio. One day that'll happen. One day when I win the lottery, I'll build my own outside studio. And it'll be pretty awesome. All right, so coming up on the show, we're going to talk a little bit about movies and how there are just too many extended segments to movies. And that'll be the topic for tonight. Then we're going to have a live interview, and it'll be great. And, of course, you're going to hear our artist music and from the past and in the future. So that'll be a lot of fun. But first, obviously, some big news for anybody who's Canadian or who just is a big hockey fan. The Winnipeg Jets now have a team back in Winnipeg, which is pretty exciting for anybody who likes hockey or anybody who's just proud to be Canadian and says, yay, we got another team back in Canada. It's another chance to win a Stanley Cup in this country. It's pretty exciting news. It's not 100% official, but it is going to most likely happen. I'm pumped. Everybody else, you pretty excited? You excited, Braden?
Oh, totally. It's great to see another team in Canada.
Yeah. Do you follow hockey?
No, I'm not much of a hockey person, so I can't contribute here. Not at all, actually.
No?
Completely useless for a sports conversation. But
that's okay. There's no such thing as being completely useless if you're on this show, believe me. So yeah, I'm excited as a hockey fan, and it'll be interesting to see where they play in the division, if they play in the Southeast. But it should be great because Winnipeg, ever since the Jets left, everybody wanted a team right back there the day after they left. So good for Winnipeg. It's a win for Canada, and I'm excited. It'll be cool to see teams go to Winnipeg, and it's interesting to hear what the players think because a lot of them are just like, I don't know if I want to live in Winnipeg for 6 months of the winter, but it should be interesting to see. And those fans are already like 80 times more passionate than the fans in Atlanta. So that's that. Now my next topic is movies, and I don't know if you've noticed, but I notice, and I notice probably too much, but I can't stand how many movie segments there are to movies where there shouldn't be like a second movie. Like
sequels,
exactly, sequels. There you go. That's what I'm looking for. Sequels. Like Fast and the Furious is a great example. Like the second and third movies, I thought sucked. If they'd have just skipped 2 and 3 and just went to 4 and 5, the series would be fantastic. Because 2 and 3 exist, I think they suck. Pirates of the Caribbean is a great example of that too, because with Pirates of the Caribbean, I find that without Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley, what's the point in having the movie? You know, I love Johnny Depp, and he's great in what he does, but the movie isn't just about Johnny Depp, it's about the other two characters. Now, I don't mind Penelope Cruz, and I don't know who's taking Orlando Bloom's place, but I really don't care.
I don't even think they replaced his...
Did he just die? Like, he just died?
Well, no, they didn't find a suitable replacement for him, right? So they just kind of...
I've never seen it, so I don't know.
You've never seen Pirates of the Caribbean?
I've never seen the fourth one, or the newest one. I love the first three. The first three are fantastic. Like, I love those movies to death. But I don't want to see the fourth because I think it will ruin my perception of the movie, of the series.
Yeah, for me, I'll just wait till it comes out on DVD and I'll see it then.
Which leads me to my next movie, which is The Hangover. That movie was not designed to have a sequel, if you ask me.
No, it wasn't.
And you just, Carolyn, you just saw that movie, The Hangover, too.
Yeah, I actually just saw it last night, and it was absolutely terrible. Like, it was not, like you just said, it was not designed to have a sequel. I mean, I felt like I was playing a game, like it was the story mode, like this was the next level, and everything was the same plot-wise, climax-wise. The ending was the same. There was a wedding at the end. There was the pictures at the end credits. It was just like, what's the point of that? The only thing that was different was that they're in a different location.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Completely,
like that's what I heard. It's just going to be exactly the same thing.
Yeah, and
the
it was.
original one was so original.
Yeah.
Like, it was...
It was the original. I wasn't a fan of the original. A concept for a movie, I thought it was well done.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw it, and I'm like, I saw the previews. I think I just saw the movie. So, like, and I sat in the theater, and everyone was dying of laughter. My buddy was laughing so hard, and I'm sitting there, and maybe just my mood that day, or I don't know, I was just like, I don't get it. Like, this is funny, but I just saw the preview before I saw the movie, and now I know what's... I just saw the movie in the preview, and I don't know if the second one's like that. Like, when you saw the preview...
I think they overdid the slapstick comedy. Like, they would make the fat guy fall way too much. And it was
Right.
okay in the beginning, but it's like, I think they played on that a little bit too much.
There's a rule for that, isn't it? It's like 3 times, and then you're good,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
Charlie Chaplin rule, where it's like, it's 3 times, it's slapstick, and then that's it. The joke's
Yeah,
old.
they totally killed it with that.
But, you know what, and that's... What I think, like, I just find, like, I was talking to my mom about this the other day, and I was like, Mom, this pisses me off. The Hangover was not meant to be a sequel. It was not designed. It was one movie with a concept. What are you going to do, have the nuts and the next guy get the Hangover? We're going to have 4 more movies like this, like, where every character has to do the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's going to... And I get it. They're trying to make money, and that's great. But how dumb are we as people to go out and... I'm not saying you're stupid for seeing it, but it's like, how dumb are we as consumers to consume the same thing over and over again? Like... It's my fault too. Like, I'll probably go see Fast and Furious 5 because I think it's cool. But like, I'm at fault too because I hate the second movie and I hate the third movie. The third one was the worst because it didn't even have Paul Walker or Vin Diesel in it. Just had the guy who's from Friday Night Lights. I don't even know who else was in it, but I could care less.
Wasn't like Exhibit in it or like one of those?
He was in the second one. Exhibit was in the second one.
Oh, okay.
That was weird too because there's another rapper in that too, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, why?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It somehow it just went. It goes from and then. They're in Florida in the second one, and then it goes from Florida to some guy living in Arizona, and it's like, that's cool, and then he gets kicked out and goes to Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's cool, but, like, at the same time, like, this doesn't make sense. And then how they took the Mustang and they put, like, some, really high-end muffler on it, it just sounded like crap. I'm like, come on, this is an American muscle. It can't sound like a Japanese import car. It doesn't work.
Yeah, and then the new ones, they're not even like really about cars anymore. It's like a heist film or something like that.
But the fourth one was. You've seen all of them?
The only one that I ever saw was the first one, and I liked it, and I knew that there was going to be 2, 3, 4, and God knows how many more, but I refused to watch them.
Like, I think, like Star Wars does a fantastic job of sequels. Like, they are very, very, like, the movies are very interesting. It's like the same...
No, see, I have to disagree with you on that.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
Tell me why. I want to know.
Why? Because, the first 3... Okay, this is hard to describe to someone who doesn't know Star Wars.
True, I'm not a big Star Wars fan.
Okay, the first 3 released, episodes 4, 5, and 6, which is completely weird, and then they released...
Yeah, I noticed that.
And then in 1999, when they released episodes 1, 2, and 3, they ruined, Star Wars. They released some really stupid characters, and they changed the mythology to, how the Force was. They said that it was, in the original movies, they said it was all mystical and everything.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then they said, that it was, in your blood. They said that you were born with it.
Yeah, that's in the one with the little Anakin Skywalker one.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah,
and then he's like a whiny little kid. So when he becomes Darth Vader, he's...
Go see dead people.
No, well, not...
It's the same kid who does that.
It's a different guy. It's a different kid.
Is it? It's not, I swear to God, that's not the same kid who's in The Sixth Sense.
No, it's a different guy.
Really? It's not the same kid. It looks exactly the same.
Oh,
ask me.
Yeah. But the thing is, again, it's he's just whiny, and then he becomes Darth Vader, who's awesome. He's the best villain ever.
Yeah, he's pretty. You know what else does I think X-Men does a pretty good job too. This is my opinion. I think,
I agree
although
with you on
they're
that.
going back and they're doing Origins, which was a fantastic movie. I don't know if you saw that, but
I saw it.
I thought it was awesome. But there's just some sequels where it works, and there's some where it just doesn't. And I get Disney. Disney has this obsession with doing they have the Lion King, and there's Lion King 2, and there's Lion King that's just no one ever knows about, but somehow got released on DVD. Yeah, it's 1 3/4 that got released, and they do that with all their movies.
It's supposed to happen during the first movie or something like that.
Yeah, it was some scene that no one ever saw. just somehow they put into a movie.
That's
But
hilarious.
the first three Pirates of the Caribbean, like I thought they were fantastic, and I kind of wish they'd have just stopped there because like they were so well done. The music is fantastic. Everything about those movies, I couldn't find much I didn't like about it, but I just wish it had just wrapped it up. It's like, okay, that's great. Yeah, I'd like to see a fourth one, but all right. Like the good example is The Mummy. The Mummy did okay after 1 and 2, they came out with that third one, and then that was it. They're done. Like,
Well, they also have the Scorpion King as well in there.
yeah, and it was like a sidebar to the rest of it.
Well,
But
because they had to make a movie with The Rock because everybody liked The Rock at that point.
yeah, and he's a good actor. I like him.
Yeah.
He's a good actor. But I just find like there's too many movies these days that just do a lot of let's make a second movie because people are going to buy it. But it just ruins the concept of the franchise itself, and it's all about money. It's not about let's make a good movie. Let's just make crap and people will watch it. Because if we all collectively agree that we just make garbage movies, everyone's gonna have to watch. Someone's gonna watch something. Like,
Well, that's what happens during the summer. Most movies are shit, and excuse me.
there you go.
Yeah.
It's okay. We're not CRTC doesn't get on us.
No,
people.
yeah. Well, most movies are,
They're terrible.
they're terrible, and people will still go see them.
What's the big movie that's coming out? Like, okay, like you know what? Here's the like Harry Potter is actually not a bad series because like they're books, so like,
Yeah.
it makes more sense because it's like you read the books and you're like, all right. But even the books were fantastic, so the movies are actually really well done. But like Lord of the Rings too, I guess they're well done, but I
Oh,
couldn't
man.
stand reading Lord of the Rings.
Oh man,
Yeah,
I've read the
I'll
books.
never
I've
be
seen the
able to.
movies. Those are amazing.
The
Those are-
movies?
Yeah.
You know what? I've
Movies.
never watched a movie.
Oh, I'll have to let you borrow them.
I don't know if I'll ever get. You know what? I read all the books except for the third. I got the exact middle of the halfway through the third book. I put it down and said, I'm not reading this anymore. Like, I got so confused. I have seen parts of the first one though, and I will probably watch it. I'd love to watch it one day, but it's just one of those things where I know people that sit down and they do those Lord of the Rings marathons, and they're there for like 18 hours
Oh
on
my
their
god,
TV.
I can't watch them, but I'll listen to the music all day.
Yeah,
Oh,
the music is good. The music is
the
good.
score and the,
Yeah, the score
and
is
the
phenomenal.
soundtracks to that movie. Those movies are amazing.
You know who I've actually had featured on my show. I'd love to interview. You know Hans Zimmer? He does all the
course,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's fantastic, man. Like,
Wait, you've
Absolutely.
interviewed him?
no, I would
I know.
love.
Oh,
I
okay.
would
Say.
absolutely
That's
love
what-
to
that's
interview
what I
him.
heard
If I
about.
interviewed him, you'd know about it. Like, that guy is fantastic. Like I think I listen to 90% of his. Like
Oh, yeah.
I listen to most of that kind of stuff. Like I
Oh
think it's
yeah,
phenomenal.
I love musical scores.
like Pirates of the Caribbean music. I think
Nice.
I listen to it before I go to sleep almost every night. It's just so relaxing to me. I'm just like, this is awesome. Like, and I just like I think about the movie and I'm gone.
I love it because it's a singable melody. It's something that you can actually remember and associate to the film. That's the greatest technique that any composer
is.
can use when scoring something. So
I also find though that especially with Pirates of the Caribbean music, it's very like that type of setting where it's like, you know, it's pirates and it's like it's at night and like you listen to that. I listen to that music generally at night and it works so well on like a
It's
nice
true.
night. Like it's really weird, but it just works. Like
Mhm.
it's phenomenal. Like I think that guy like is a genius in every way. Like he's got to be one of the best musicians of our time.
Yeah,
That's just my opinion, but I mean, I think I would love to interview him. He's from Germany though, so I don't know how good that'll be to get. I don't know how easy it'll be to get a hold of him.
He may be from Germany, but if he's going to be working in Hollywood, he's probably living in LA at this point.
yeah, he definitely is.
Yeah, he's probably got a few places. He's probably got a few
Oh
places.
yeah,
Yeah.
and by the way, Nick, I've got the Pirates of the Caribbean theme stuck in my head at this point.
No,
Thanks a
that's
lot.
great, 'cause maybe we should play a song now. Like,
Yeah.
There's that song by DJ Tiesto where he does the Pirates of the Caribbean mix. It's pretty
Oh,
good.
Yeah,
No way,
The
I've
Crystal-
never
the
heard of
Crystal
that.
Method did
I'll actually dig it up and I'll play it on the show later
The
because
Crystal
it's.
Method did a version as well, which I thought was
Yeah,
both of
there's some
those
interesting-
were amazing.
Where was I? I was at a concert one night, and it was like in Oakville. They did like used to do the waterfront thing because I don't know if you've ever been to Oakville or heard of the waterfront festival, but they used to do it. And one night we were there, and they actually did like the band or whatever. I think they're just practicing around, and one of their songs was the Pirates of the Caribbean theme song that they were playing just as
great.
practice. And I'm like, that's so awesome. I'm like, this is so cool. Like,
That's wicked.
you know, you've done a fantastic job when it's a movie song and
Yeah,
it's
especially
beautiful.
movie score.
Yeah, movie-
Usually are not popular for bands to play their music.
Yeah, exactly. So that's like, he's wonderful. He did Black Hawk Down, I think, as well, or Tears of the Sun.
Inception, because I
he
just
did-
saw that last night,
he
and
did
I
Inception.
still got that. Like that was one of the best movie scores of like I can't remember what year, but it was just like amazing because I just keep remembering it. Like I may have not watched the movie, like if I didn't watch the movie for quite a while, I'll still have it stuck in my head.
Yeah, you know what? I think what was another good one is Titanic is actually fantastic as well.
Well, yeah, Titanic wasn't done by Hans Zimmer. but-
No, it wasn't. I can't think of who it was done by, but It's
Tiffany
fantastic. It's good stuff too, actually. And I first, like, when I heard Hans Zimmer stuff, I actually went back and I know it's not Hans Zimmer, but like it's still very good. But it's, you know, directed by James Cameron. I'm pretty sure you're gonna have a top-notch soundtrack.
Yeah.
Anything that James Cameron does is generally
Yeah,
amazing.
like, I remember Avatar having a really good soundtrack.
Yeah, it had a good soundtrack as well. You know what? I wasn't a big fan of like that kind of style movie, but it was actually an interesting movie.
I remember seeing that in 3D and being completely amazed.
Oh, I
mean,
bet.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break here on Radio Nation. It's 7:50 on Tuesday night here in Toronto, Ontario, on this beautiful Tuesday evening. And I thank you for coming in, all of you, because you could be outside enjoying this lovely day. We could be at the ball game watching the Jays doing whatever, but it's nice that we're in here. Well, it's not super nice, but it's nice that you're joining me. It's 7:51. I'm your host, Nicholas Pescod.